Test, test, 1, 2, 3, test.
Okay, I would like to call this meeting to order. Roll call, please, Madam Secretary.
Ms. Woolfolk? Ms. Venegas?
Aye.
Mr. Sawalish?
Here.
Dr. Hall?
Here.
Zeitz-Stumbris is here. Mr. Gallegos?
Here.
Mr. Brown?
Here. Let us stand for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Vice President Mr. Gallegos and the mission statement by our Board Secretary, Jamie.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our mission statement is to engage and empower our students to positively impact their community and future.
Thank you both. We do have a couple electronically submitted board comments. Do we have any in-person board comments? Okay. The first one is a public comment submitted by Mr. John Pachuta. And I think the board members already saw these comments, but I'm going to read them. He said he has several questions. I see that the school had a good rating from Illinois. How much is the 201U district in debt? When looking at the budget, numbers are located in many places. My question is, without the $35 million alternative revenue bond that was taken, how would that have impacted the rating? Listening to the June 10th, 2025 meeting at 23:40 time, it appears that there was some concern about funding. Listening to the many construction projects, HVAC replacements, life safety projects, I think that the $21 million sports project should have been put up to the voters to address. Any TIF money that went to the sports project could have been used toward the many other school projects. And I did reply to Mr. Pachuta, and I think also communicated with the board on my response, as well as the superintendent. If the superintendent feel additional responses are warranted, I'll let you decide on that, okay? The other, it's a whole big difference in the font, which is conducive for my reading here, and this one here. And I'm gonna struggle and give it a try. The next board, a public comment, is from a Nicole Lomax. Good morning, School Board of Education. My name is Nicole Lomax. I want to introduce the new committee I am starting up called the Student Voice Committee, which main focus is making sure everyone's ideas and concerns are brought up and addressed. It wasn't too bad. That concludes our public comments. Do we have any board updates? Hearing none from my colleagues, I just do have one. I did attend last week on Friday the I believe it's the 9th annual Kids Summit down in Peoria, Illinois. It was an excellent conference there, or a summit, and I just want to, again, recognize the Board of Education as me being your representative down there, get rave reviews, because again, we are the only board that's representing early learning curriculum as such being conveyed down this past week in Peoria. So thank you. I represent the Board of Education for Crete Monee 201U. All righty. Hearing no other board updates.
Actually, I just thought of two. One, I attended the State of the District meeting for Crete, and it was a small but engaged audience. And it was great. And then I also wanted to give a shout out to the musicians, the vocalists and instrumentalists who were selected to play in the ILMEA District 1
Excellent.
concerts. That's it.
Thank you. And I forgot to remember talking about engagement, Dr. Perkins. I was like the student, she was like the teacher. We had team engagement, and I just, for some reason, kept following her because it seemed like she knew exactly what to do. And she kept me in line. Some of the other teachers down there had a hard time keeping me in line, but she kept me in line there. So thank you, Dr. Perkins, for being one step ahead of me when I involved myself with different activities down there, okay? Thank you so much. All right, administrative updates. There's a couple updates that our superintendent is going to share this, not specifically on here, so I'll let her have the floor now.
Well, first of all, I wanted to acknowledge the CSK team. All these beautiful flowers that you see here are from them for the board. So certainly thank you for doing that. Very much appreciated. Believe it or not, it is
Oh, I finally get my check after 16 years. It's a big one, I know. Oh, man. Wow.
Believe it or not, Thanksgiving is rolling around. I looked at my calendar, and it is next week. And, you know, it's interesting. It's always when it becomes this time of year, you know, we're all exhausted. We just can't wait for that few days off. But, you know, I think it's also a time for us to collectively think about all the good things that we all have in our lives. It can be very busy and with schedules and dealing with all sorts of family issues and so forth, but it's a time to be thankful for all the good things that are going on. And so this particular board meeting, I'm spending some time really celebrating some really fabulous things that are going on in this district to say thank you. And the first piece that I wanted to do is talk about National Education Week. National Education Week is this week, and it is our time that we thank all of our educators. And every employee that works in our district is an educator. It's our custodians that are talking to kids during that lunchtime. It's our security guards, they're listening to our kids. It's our teachers in our classroom. It's our bus drivers listening and smiling at our students when they get on. It's all of our employees.
Yes.
So this really belongs to all of you when we say
Yes.
thank you for this. As we celebrate National Education Week, we extend our deepest gratitude for all the dedicated staff across Crete Monee School District 201U. Their unwavering commitment, compassion, and hard work make a profound difference in the lives of our students each and every day. Whether in classroom, offices, buses, cafeteria, or behind the scenes, such as at district office business, each of the staff members plays an essential role in creating a supportive, inspiring, and enriching learning environment. On behalf of the district, we'd like to thank all of our educators for their tireless efforts, their passion for education, and their steadfast belief in supporting our students. We are truly grateful for everything you do. So we have a little video to share with you. This we sent out to our staff today, but I wanted our community members to see this as well. So go ahead.
Reflect on a powerful question. Why do we teach? Because at Crete Monee School District 201U, teaching is more than a career, it's a calling.
I teach because it's important for the students to have a mentor. As a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, it's one of our sayings that lives once touched by me become tuned. And that just means that once I interact with a student, I'm going to lead them in a better place.
I always want to give my students the type of education that I want to have as a child, the type of education that my parents wanted me to have.
I'm passionate about learning. I love working with children. I want to build confidence in them and make them successful, give them all the tools and strategies that they need to open all the doors that they want to open up in their future. I enjoy it. It's a wonderful job.
I teach because I love to celebrate students' wins. I think there are so many wins here in the classroom as well as outside of the classroom that are ready to be celebrated, and I think just spending extra time to be able to cheer on the students, have the students cheer on each other, and really build on that relationship they have with me as well as each other.
November 17th through 21st is American Education Week. It's a time to celebrate the people who make learning possible every day. Teachers, staff, and families working together to inspire our students. Teaching is about more than lessons and grades. It's about building character, nurturing potential, and preparing students for life beyond the classroom. At 201U, every teacher's why becomes a student's reason to believe in themselves. American Education Week reminds us that teaching is a shared mission. Parents, teachers, staff, and the community, together, we create the future. So why do we teach? Because every student deserves someone who believes in them. Because education is hope. And because the future starts here in our classrooms today.
So we just wanted to share some of those faces with you that's going on in the classroom and the passion that they have for everything they do. So we really do appreciate our staff. So thank you. The next part of appreciation is board members. It's you. It's your turn. So believe it or not, November 15th, which was a little bit earlier, was National School Board Members Day. In recognition of National School Board Members Day on November 15, we extend our heartfelt appreciation to the Crete Monee School District 201U Board of Education for their unwavering dedication and support to all of our students, staff, and families. Through thoughtful governance and the development of strong board policies, and that our board ensures that every student receives the highest quality education to prepare them for college, career, and a lifelong success. Our board members devote countless hours of their own time reviewing policies, board briefs, bill lists, agenda items, just to name a few, to ensure the district operates effectively and responsibly. As trusted community stewards, they oversee the district's mission and vision while empowering and supporting staff to carry out the community's goals for their education of their students. Each board member here at this table, I can attest, is caring, supportive, and generally does listen to everything that folks say in concerning students, the staff, and the wider community. On behalf of the district, we'd like to thank the board that sits here tonight, and we thank you for your outstanding service as well. So thank you. And just so you know, our board members will be participating in a special conference called the Triple I Conference, which is down in the city. And they are going to be engrossed in literally a whole weekend of in-services, participating in classes and workshops. They're going to get a chance to talk with each other and hear and grow as a board. So again, and that's all on their own time. So we're looking forward to actually hearing some of the reports that might come back in December. So
You left one thing out. We also are going to be experiencing the worst traffic that anyone can experience. But we love it.
okay, yes, it is a lot of traffic there. All right, moving forward, we've got some special guests in the audience tonight. We have Coretta Scott King Magnet School, and we are here to celebrate a special recognition and award for them.
Yes.
Tonight, we are here to recognize and honor the staff, students, and families at Coretta Scott King Magnet School for being listed in the top 40% of elementary schools in Illinois, earning a wide distinction in the U.S. News Best Schools, Elementary Schools in the state. CSK was evaluated on their student proficiency scores in mathematics and reading. This special recognition reflects the hard work of our students, staff, and families, and that they have continue to build a strong culture. Tonight, I would like to invite the building principal, Ms. Benita Arsenault Anderson. Where are you? Come on up. Assistant principal, Ms. Raven Roberts, and the members of the rest of the team. Come on up. We're going to have you come up here. I have a special plaque, and then we're going to grab a picture. Dr. Perkins will be grabbing that picture. So you're lucky this just came in today.
And we're not done yet. We're moving along.
Well, can I say
Yes,
congratulations?
please do.
to you
Please do.
all?
Any comments?
Good job. I thought once the Hall kids left, the school was going to go down, but I see. Good job. Thank you.
And you're welcome to stay as long as you like, but since you do have students tomorrow, you are free to go and rest up for tomorrow.
If you really care, you
Okay.
can stay with us.
Well, I would like to say also, thank you, teachers, and I'm sure you're not in the position that you are in because of the money. It's because of the love that you have for our kids, and it's so reflective on that plaque that you received tonight. So thank you for all you do, and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night. Rest up. They'll be here tomorrow. Okay. So we have a special program that I wanted to share with you. As I was going out earlier this year and I was going out to visit buildings and principals, I spent some time with Ms. Chesta talking a little bit about some of the things that were going on there. And I got a chance to see my old office and all the different changes that are going on there. And I thought, we really need to share what's going on. There's so many things that were behind the scenes. So I said, Ms. Chester, you've got to come up and present, not just about your program, but how you are engaging our families. If you've ever been to any of these activities, they're amazing. And they have the most turnout here with coming here. And so she's coming tonight to share that with us. So I've invited her to do that. So I'm going to turn this over to you.
Okay. Hello. I'm a little taller than this. Hello.
Bear with me 1 second, hopefully it reconnects.
All right. Good evening. I don't
Good
know if I
evening.
need this or not, but I'm Kelly Chesta, the director from the Crete Monee Early Learning Center. I am privileged to be here tonight to talk to you about our Early Learning Center family involvement. Here we go. And I have some friends that stayed to keep me company. So how does ELC engage our families and the communities? First of all, it's really important to us that we build these relationships, that we create an open environment for our family members, our students or parents or our community members. We want you to come in, feel comfortable. This is the first start to their educational journey for our Crete Monee School District. So it's that important that we started out right. So I'm very fortunate with the grant. I have 4 parent coordinators that are amazing. So there's Tammy Winter, Jamie Hayden, Lynn Sawalish, and Gracie Magana. And so Gracie is bilingual, so we wanted to make sure our Spanish-speaking population had representation. So that bringing that to our table has been very helpful. I also have a preschool community liaison as part of the grant, and that is Judith Woodfoot. She is awesome as well. She is providing those parent chats, that parent education piece. She is working with our early intervention students, transitioning them into our program. She's helping us with screening, meeting with parents. She's just a woman of many trades, so she also does the community outreach. So I'm very fortunate to have a great team to help us. It's not just one person, it's not a one-woman show, it's all of us together.
Yes.
Okay, so some of these events, PTO events and volunteers, we have a great PTO. every year, they get stronger and stronger. It's important to them to bring in community members. They volunteer for events here. And it's anywhere from fundraising to just our special events. They're doing Friendsgiving coming up next week. So they sponsor all these great events for our students and our families. They do book fairs, and they get a lot of parents to come into our building to help support. In fact, tonight I had a PTO meeting right before this, and they have all these amazing, wonderful ideas to share and to give back to the community. And I was just so touched by all of their creativeness. I want to talk to you. So conferences, we pull our families in for conferences. Yes, we do that throughout the district. We make sure that we do that twice during the year. We want to make sure that we're all on the same page. We're working on the whole child. We bring what's happening here home and home here. Our parents know best, right? They're with their kids 24/7, so they know all those special interests and connections that they have. So we make sure that we have that extra special touch, and we're communicating on a consistent basis. We have our parent chats. I talked about Judith Whitfoot. That's our parent education piece to it. We want to make sure that we survey our parents to make sure we're providing to meet their needs. So if they have interest or they need more information, maybe it's toileting or behaviors or routines. Our recent one was on fine motor. You're going to get to see a video of that tonight. It was incredible. So it's good information, rich information, good discussions, and then we provide materials to our families. So again, it's that, we have this great knowledge. We have these great materials. We want to make sure they know what to do with them and have access to them as well. Family day events, family evening events. So my wonderful coordinators, they plan and implement, come up with these creative ideas of how to engage our families. They bring them into our building. We make sure that as a staff that we're modeling, we're teaching, we're giving resources, so they're seeing what's happening, what they can do in their home environment as well. So it's a team, it's a group effort. And then we have a parent resource room, which used to be Dr. Kara's office. That is amazing. So our parents can come in daily and take advantage of this space. They can have mom and me activities. So if there's younger siblings, they can bring their younger sibling here, meet with other parents. We have resources that are at their fingertips. They can have take-home bags. It's a great space. Our PTO uses that pretty often. We do have other families that come in, they might stay here while their child's in school. Maybe they have a hard time moving, driving back and forth, so they take advantage of that space. Okay, so enough talking here. I will go on. This is a family day event for us. Windmill Acres.
Wow.
Pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
We have 3 of those every year, and
Wow.
I know one of them is our Breakfast with Santa, and that's coming up soon on December 19th. And then we have our Special Persons Day, which I have a picture of. I can talk a little bit about that in a minute. But again, it's those rich experiences, bringing our families in together. Our staff are there modeling, facilitating, guiding those communications, that interactions, those overall interactions. Okay, so this is art night. This is one of our family night events. We have one a month. And this particular one, we have our families come out, we have a pizza night, so we have some sort of dinner for our families, and then they get to see all the showcased art from our art teacher that they put together throughout the year. And then you're seeing now an art experience that they get to participate in. And we have several art experiences throughout the school, a lot of engaging activities for them. Curriculum night, just another night, everybody holds this, but it's just another night to give information and meet with families. End of the year celebration party. This is great. This is sponsored by our PTO. All of our staff are here, all of our families. We have food, we have jumpies, we have centers set up. It's just a fun-filled event, a way to say thank you to our volunteers and goodbye for the summer. Kindergarten expectation night. This is a huge night for us. We want to make sure our transitions from our school to kindergarten are seamless, and our families are feeling welcome at the next step in their educational career. So what we do is we have a presentation giving expectations, an overview of what happens next. What does that look like? What can you do to prepare for the next step? And I have representatives from each elementary school. So we have the principal and a kindergarten teacher there. And so our parents are able to go and ask questions and make that contact, see those friendly, familiar faces to see what the next step looks like. So they really appreciate that time. Here's our parent resource room. You can't see all of it in there. On the other side, there's all of the take-home bags and activities, but you can see in this area, that's where our families bring in their little ones and they're interacting, and they have some engaging experiences there. It's just it's a great space. So thank you. Yeah. PTO book fair, so another volunteer event for our PTO. We have about 2 of them a year, and then they have another online one. And books that they generate from this, and money that they generate from this, they give back to the classrooms and to our library. And then, of course, any funds that they have, they give back to the students. So PTO strong again. They participate in district events, the trees around the district. Special Persons Day. This is another family day event. Whether you have a grandparent or not, a special person in your life, they get to come and spend the day with you. So they come here, we open up our classrooms, they have breakfast together, and then they get to see what a day is like with the student that they're with. Young athletes, or field day, as we call it. We have volunteers that come in and help us with each of the centers. Our students are doing gross motor activities throughout the school. It's a great event. They love it, and they celebrate all the good work that they do. Okay. This was an awesome event that we had, that parent chat. It was on fine motor skills, and the parents loved it, and they got to take home the goodie bags afterwards that were filled with many different materials on how to build their gross motor or their fine motor skills, excuse me. Okay, communication, we're almost done. Communication opportunities. Again, strong communication is very important for us at ELC, and there's many different ways. We like to find out through the parents their best mode of communication, and that's where we go with it. And partnerships. We couldn't do this without all of our partnerships, the community members, the support of the board, the support of the district office, all of our staff. Again, like I said before, we are not a one-person show. It's a team effort, and that's including parents. And it's all for the great cause of supporting our students and getting them ready for their next step in their educational career. So that's us at ELC.
Yes.
It's not a question. I think it's more, if you look at it, the work is incredible. She knows, I know it's nonstop. And you have to do that because they're 3 through 5 years old, 3 through 5. And having that connection and having them love school as opposed to being a negative, it's got to be positive. And then engaging the parents is super important. I mean, like you said, their PTO is the strongest. If you ever come to the events, they're packed. They're always busy. So it's a great job. And for sure, everybody involved, I mean, everybody does it as a team.
They're happy to be here.
Yeah, it's a great job.
Thank you.
How many students go, what's the enrollment?
We typically have a little over 300. We are probably at 230 now, 240. We have trainings all throughout the year, so we're always transitioning students into our program, but we're filling up quick, that's for sure.
Do you have a spot for me? All right.
And did you say this is we're the only school district with this program in the state of Illinois? Is that what you said?
No,
Oh.
board representation on the initiative with the Kids Summit. That the board of Crete Monee is the only board that have the representation.
Okay.
And I know I'm jumping ahead here. Possibly the only board that will possibly implement a policy to support this endeavor.
Because this sounds like something that could be conference worthy of being a workshop presenter, in my opinion, for III, or something. I don't think that we should limit it to these 4 walls. I think it's time to get out and share.
I know we presented last year at the Kids Summit. Yeah. And a couple people that I came across and met last year, they saw us there just this past Friday. And they said, "Oh, you guys presented again?" No. Once is enough, okay? But Kelly has done a tremendous job. And what just gets me is that, in a positive way, dealing with kids, 3, 4, 5-year-old, she does it with a smile. All the time. I have never seen it without a smile around kids. And it's not a fake smile. This is love for the kids. And her and her team has put so much fervency into the process of causing our kids to learn at such a young age. And it's been told, and you can attest to this, Kelly, that it's been told about kids or human beings in general learn the most from the time they're born to 5 years old than any other time in their life. And capturing these kids. And Dr. Perkins, is it true? I thought I had heard or read something down at the conference. Is it the state of Illinois making this mandatory for schools in 2028 to have early learning?
27, 28, they are making it mandatory to have play-based learning. Part of kindergarten readiness.
Okay, play-based learning. Okay, we are ahead of the game by leaps and bounds.
The pre-K to K work that
Yes.
it's exciting to have those.
Yes, and to see the kindergarten teachers and the early learning teachers collaborate, team up together to monitor or audit each other, it's just amazing the work is going on. So thank you. All I'm saying now, I don't have to say it later on in the agenda, okay? Thank you so much, Kelly, and your whole entire team.
Yes, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
And keeping up all this exciting news, what's next is Truth and Taxation hearing.
Thank you for that lovely introduction.
He brought the dog, so I don't know if that helps soften the blow. Thanks, Kelly.
Brian's going to be giving a seminar on revenues. at Triple I, right?
Correct.
So everybody hit that up, Saturday
Yes.
at 10:30?
Yeah.
We might have to YouTube live stream that just to get them out
lob
there.
some easy questions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
You need us to be like kind of plants in the room and, ask questions.
Or pants later.
All right, so this is the preliminary discussion of the 2025 Truth and Taxation hearing, which will be held December 9th. This is a very similar presentation that has taken place the past several years. First, just starting with definitions, the equalized assessed value is the result of applying the state equalization factor to the assessed value of a property. In Will County, this is 1/3 of the property's value. An example would be a home valued at $150,000. 1/3 of that would be a $50,000 EAV. The tax levy is the amount of money the school district requests from the property tax. The tax extension is the amount of money the clerk approves and provides us, and then the tax rate is a multiplier determined by the county clerk that's used with the property's EAV to calculate each homeowner's amount of tax they need to pay.
So just to clarify, because we'll get that in the spring, the school district and you are not calculating the extension or the rate.
That is
The county
correct.
is.
That is correct. We request through our levy, they do their assessment of property and things, which we'll get into, and then they tell us the maximum amount we will receive. The requirements for the tax levy, the extension may increase a maximum of 5% or CPI, which as of December 31st of 2024 was 2.9%. New construction and dissolving TIFs are in addition to this requirement, which we'll discuss later. We are ballooning our levy because Monee does have TIF 3 rolling off this year, so we want to make sure we are getting all of the funds available to us. So we're going to ask for an amount above 5%, which is the maximum we would ever be allowed to receive before any of the new property and TIFs. So we are asking for a percentage above 5% just to make sure any new revenue available through that TIF rolling off we absorb. So you'll see some examples in the future slides. We're going to ask for significantly more than we're estimated to receive just to make sure, again, any of that new property EAV we are capturing, because we only get one chance to do that. And if we miss that opportunity, you'll have someone else giving this presentation next year. We still are only allowed the maximum extension that the county calculates for us. So we can ask for as much money as we want, and they're telling us, that's great, you want $8 gazillion. This is the maximum you're getting based on your taxpayers, your EAV, your new property, your TIFs. So we just balloon to make sure we're covered so we don't leave that revenue, which is very important to our operations, on the table, because once we lose that revenue, it goes away forever. So if the levy is more than 5%, we need to hold a truth and taxation hearing, which again will be December 9th. We need to publish a notification in the local newspaper within 14 days of levy adoption, which we will have that done. Published on the district website 30 days prior to truth and taxation. Everything has been posted there. And then once approved, the tax levy must be filed with the county clerk by the last Tuesday in December. We can now file electronically, so we will be filing December 17th, the day after the board meeting. When the levy gets approved, we get all of our signatures that night. So moving on. This is just a chart showing the historic data of the district's equalized assessed value. 2024, we did surpass $1 billion of EAV throughout the district. And if you'll notice, as our EAV increases over time, the tax rate we are requesting has been decreasing. The data used to determine the levy, again, the consumer price index is the maximum we're allowed to request before new property and TIFs rolling off. Our previous levy, CPI was 3.4%. This levy, we're at 2.9%. Those district-wide EAVs are there just for information. Again, there's that $1.9 billion number. New construction, we're estimating around $30 million. We got this estimate from the Will County assessor. We always reach out to them to make sure our numbers are as accurate as they can be before we get to this point. And they estimate that the new revenue from Monee TIF 3 rolling off will be around $1.48 million. Again, the assessor provided that estimate. And then our annual bond payment remains pretty flat, just below our DSEB maximum of $12 million.
Can I ask just a quick question on that? That bond payment's coming down, is that coming down $2 million at the end of 26 or 27?
I believe
Fiscal,
it's 27.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, I would have to.
Yeah, if I remember the chart where it's coming down, it'll be 10 million, it'll be 9.9 million. Right?
Correct. So it'll lower by $2 million in a couple years. So that Monee TIF 3 is a huge portion of that amount. Correct. So when a TIF ends, we treat that 25 years of growth as new construction for when, so now we'll get that additional tax revenue.
So if you look at the previous slide, the 84 million is from TIF 5 in UP. A big portion of that, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so we calling that. So do we have any single, other than the TIF, new construction that we can capture all the way up until April of next year? Do we have any of that going on? I don't see any new
Just
construction
standard, there might be a few new homes being
Okay.
built or a gas station or something, but most of that new construction
Was
is Monee
expiration of
TIF
TIFs.
3, correct.
3 and 5?
So
UP
UP
5?
TIF 5 was last year,
Oh, that
which
was
is that
last year,
84 million in new construction and the
Okay.
4.6 million of new TIF revenue, and then this year is Monee TIF 3.
Have they signed off on that?
Correct.
Monee has?
Yes. They submitted with Will County, confirmed with us.
Really?
I believe that was in October.
Any surplus?
I'm unaware of the surplus, but the ordinance was filed October 16th with Will County.
Okay. I shut the place down.
I'll have to order a new one by next meeting. They may have just died on us.
Chantal, I think you're losing your paper copy tonight. Good thing you have them. Good thing you have it.
I had one go out a month or two ago, and this is a new one.
Brian, did you get through most of it?
Right.
I mean, just
Yeah, just keep going. That's all right.
There goes your Christmas present and bonus, Don. Just kidding.
So our levy, again, which is the amount we are requesting, in the ed fund, we're requesting $50 million, O&M fund, $8.5 million, transportation fund, $6.2 million, working cash fund, $500,000, life safety fund, $200,000, special education, $8 million, for a total operating fund request of $73.4 million. Our bond and interest remains that 11.996 number, for a total levy request of $85.396 million. Again, this is significantly higher than what we're expecting to receive, but again, discussing that balloon strategy, we are expecting to get just below $60 million in total operating funds, and then our standard $11.996 million in bond and interest, for a total tax extension of $71.645 million. So again, we're asking for $14 million above what we're anticipating receiving, just to make sure if the estimates that we received were low, we're overestimating so that we do not leave any of that new construction on the table.
And again, just because we're requesting it, who
Correct.
determines the final amount? The county clerk?
The county clerk determines based on the actual EAV numbers, everything that is finalized between our request and the extension in March. So they'll give us our exact numbers. So again, we're just asking for more than we're expecting to make sure we don't miss any one-time chances to increase the district's revenue.
And the only reason I'm asking is because people will question if the district's asking for that, but I just want to make sure the Will County Clerk's Office is the one determining that.
Is it the clerk or is it the?
Assessor?
Assessor.
County assessor. Okay.
Will County is definitely
It's from Will
figuring
County.
that out, not School District 201.
Right, it's the assessor.
Yeah.
County assessor. Okay.
And then next, our tax rate, again, we already showed the slide where things were.
You're good, Don.
That's all right. So we'll go back to the charts that we missed. So again, this is our levy, which we are over requesting or ballooning to make sure we do not leave any revenue on the table. We discussed these figures, so that $73.4 million for operating funds plus the $11.996 million for our bond and interest payments, for a total request of just over $85 million. And then our estimate for what we expect to actually receive through our extension is lower, so we're expecting to receive $71.64 million. Again, based on estimates, we're always conservative, so we always over ask to make sure we're not leaving anything on the table. Based on these figures, again, we already saw a slide showing our historic tax rate that we request, and that has been decreasing as the EAV in the district increases. So our 2025 estimate, again, conservatively, we're requesting 4% lower of the share of taxes paid than we did last year. And our estimates from last year, the taxpayers ended up seeing slightly better numbers than we estimated, because again, we always go on the side of being conservative so that there are no surprises. This next slide is just some estimates of different home values. So example one, a home assessed at $150,000. We're using an EAV increase of 5%. Again, just for discussion, we have no say on a home's EAV assessment or the increase in taxes. So a home that was valued at $150,000 in 2024 That 5%, it would be valued at $157,500 this year at our estimated tax rate. There would be a tax increase in the portion that home pays to the district, an increase of $58. Go through the same exercise for $200,000 home, $250,000, $300,000. None of these homes are seeing more than $100 of an increase based on our estimates of these values. So then, just reiterating some important dates, December 9th will be the public hearing for the 2025 levy. December 16th would be when the board would vote to approve the levy, sign all of our paperwork. And then December 30th is the deadline to submit the approved 2025 levy to the county clerk, which again, we would submit on December 17th because we can now do that electronically, so we're just going to get it done right away. So that ends the riveting discussion of the tax levy. If anyone has any further questions, feel free.
Thank you, Brian.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And then Jason will talk about the
You got the
school
grant?
maintenance. Yep.
Okay. Next up is Jason.
Good evening, President Brown,
Good evening,
distinguished members of the Board of Education, Dr. Kara Coglanice. No presentation on my part. I'm just here to have a discussion regarding the school maintenance project grant. This is an annual grant that we apply for through ISB to help with the construction and capital projects that we have going on here throughout the district. So just a formality that we will apply for the grant. Part of the application is the approval of the Board of Education, and part of our short-term facility plan is that $50,000 will be used to fund the construction at Crete Monee Middle School. Any questions?
Is this one of those grants again where you have to give X amount of dollars and you get?
You don't have to give, you just have to pledge that you have an equal amount. So we have $50,000 in equal local funds to match. So yeah, we've done this on an annual process. When I came here, came back to the district, we used it we used that to fund a portion of the corridor flooring replacement at the middle school. Last year we used it to fund a portion of the roof repairs at Crete Elementary, and then this year we'll be using it for the construction project at the Crete Middle School.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, next up, we have teaching and learning. School report card by Dr. Perkins.
Mic check. Hello? Can you hear me? Good? Okay. Good evening to our Board of Education, to Dr. Coglanice, to our staff, families, students at home watching us. I want to start this evening off again saying thank you and echoing thank you to our teachers for a Happy American Education Week, and to our board for their Appreciation Day. So this is our annual fall academic report that we must give. 832 districts across the state have to give this report at some time between October and November each year. So your takeaways this evening are going to be about telling our story. We know that we have a very unique district that serves over 4,500 students. You're going to understand about our growth, our systems that we have in place to support our students, and then what it is going to look like for us going forward. Our overview is, again, who do we serve? What is the state report card? How do our students perform? What do our school improvement plans look like? And then what are our indicators of success? One of the things that we think about as we serve our students is all means all. And so that means high quality education for all of our students, access for all of our students, and high expectations for all of our students. Again, all means all. Trying to decide which screen to look at here. Here is an overview of the students that we serve. These are actually photos of our students at play and doing what they do best, being a Crete student. Right now, at the end of school in the spring, where our enrollment was 4486, and you will see that we are starting to trend back up and increasing our enrollment each year, and we'll talk about some of those factors of how that has happened. As we look at our data at a glance, when we think about who we serve, our low-income students make up 64%. That is a decrease from previous years because of some data calculations that happened. We serve 6.1% of our students are homeless, and then that 10% of our students are English language learners. I will ask that you jot down any questions that you have as I'm going through this rather quickly, but I can go back to any slide if you have any questions. This is a new data point that the state has given to districts, again showing our students with individualized education plans, and that is at 18%. Again, looking at our data, 91% of our students have daily attendance. So that means 91% of our students show up for attendance each day. You're going to see some small decreases or increases in each of these categories, nothing with a significant increase or decrease. Our student mobility is 11.9%, and our chronic absenteeism is at 34%. Again, small increase, but not significant. When we look at our ninth graders on track, we are at 93% and outpacing the state there. And then our graduation rate continues to outpace the state at 92.2%. So what is the Illinois State Report Card? It is where we have an opportunity to look at schools and put them into categories, and the state rates them, which they must do because of the federal Department of Education. This is the weighted category of what it looks like at the elementary level and middle school level, 75% being in those academic indicators, 50% based on our growth, and then 25% grade based on other school factors like chronic absenteeism and our climate survey, our 5 essential survey. And then those areas that are kind of grayed out, the state has not put those metrics in place as of yet. At the high school level, again, this 100% weighted chart, 50% is based on our graduation rate, and then that 25% down below on those other success indicators like climate survey, 8th grade on track, and chronic absenteeism. Our annual summative designation that each school receives is based on 4 different categories, going from exemplary to comprehensive, and showing exemplary meaning that those schools are at the top 10%. That would be 83 schools receive that out of the state. Commendable means that they have no unperforming subgroups of students, and then that graduation rate is not less than 67%. A targeted school means that there's some work to be done to support students that fall into a subcategory. And then comprehensive, again, means that there's student groups that need additional support and interventions. We'll review the results of each school. We'll start, ELC does not have all the metrics that elementary and middle school have, but we still get a report card from them. What you should walk away and look at with ELC is that we have a large population of our students that have IEPs, but what that means is that we have an opportunity to serve those students. You know that our ELC program is made up of very different student populations, and we have a high percentage there. As Director Chesta said, we're serving right now about 250 students, and we can serve about 300 each year. Our ELL population there is about 60, and then our low income is 74%. In this blue area here, I won't read to you each school's school improvement plan and what their goals are, but these are goals that are shared with you each year and that you approve in our school improvement plan. At Balmoral Elementary, again, out of the 5 elementary schools, Balmoral has the highest enrollment. And while there are some needs there, and we've got 73% low income, you should know that they maintain a great daily attendance rate, and we serve 42 ELL students there with a mobility of 11%. Again, their math and reading goals in the blue area. CSK. You will know that, again, they received that U.S. News award and acknowledgement. Their enrollment is up to 290. That is one of the reasons is the communities and the board asked to bring back our PALS program, and we were able to bring those students back into the district, and they are in CSK. We also, the board also removed the restriction of not allowing school students into that program after the first 10 days of school, and so students can enroll throughout the year. And so we work to enroll those students throughout the year, and so we are at a higher capacity of 290. This school stays in line with the state averages. And again, their reading and math goals. Crete Elementary, serving 375 students, 65% low income with a low mobility rate, and some chronic absenteeism that we're working on, and we'll talk about what that looks like for us later. High daily attendance of 90% of students coming to school. Monee Elementary, lower absenteeism rate, low income is at 64%, and walking away with a class size and enrollment of 368 with an ambitious math and reading goals for our students there. For Talala Elementary, again, telling our story, knowing that our students, we have students in populations that need some intensive support, and that is our role and our job to provide those supports to our students. 85% low income, 25% mobility, 65 EL students, and an enrollment of 295. That is one of the largest enrollments that school has had and trending upward. Yes.
I just had, okay, so we're done with the elementaries. Can we ask a question about the elementaries?
Absolutely.
Instead of waiting, because 295, 458. Are the schools that different in size? 458 for Balmoral, isn't there an overflow that if you get to a certain capacity? I just want to make sure there's not too many kids in a classroom per teacher at one school compared to another, right? I mean, I don't know how exact numbers per school, but that number seems awful different.
Yes. So class sizes will vary. Their class sizes will be cut off at a certain number. For instance, at every kindergarten classroom, when it gets to 25, those students will move to their sister school. And so that happens in cases, for instance, I know this year we had to close Crete Elementary's kindergarten classrooms, and those students went to Balmoral. But what that meant is that those students those teachers did not have 25 students yet. And then when they reach 25, then we find another home for those students to attend for that 1 year while we had that transition going on. Same thing for other grade levels, and Dr. Melenchenko can speak to class sizes and numbers. The state reports are what is average. But then again, there are classrooms that close. Again, I would say Balmoral has 30 in their 5th grade class, and there could be some variances across the district of what that looks like.
Okay, so that's where I think, for me, and again, remember, when it comes to the academic side, but I would think that would be more stressful for a teacher at 30 kids than it would be at 24. And I'm just not understanding, and again, maybe I'm just understanding, let's say that Talal only has 22 classrooms and Balmoral has 40, which could skew the numbers, but they look, I just want to make sure, I mean, we are moving the kids, because the majority of people, I think, Mr. Brown, if you remember, back in 5 years ago, one of the arguments we had, discussions we had was about CSK.
Yes.
And about how many per are going in there, realizing the amount of kids that get bused in our district. I mean, basically, neighborhood schools almost don't exist because Balmoral is all by itself off of Old Monee Road.
Yes.
You've got Monee Elementary, which is off of Will Center Road. There's one subdivision next to it. Go on and on and on. I think Talal is the closest. However, I just want to make sure that our classroom sizes are being distributed. Because, like I said, I just look at that number without looking at the details, but knowing are the classroom sizes at least proportional throughout the elementaries. Besides CSK, because I know there's
Yes.
number of restrictions.
So, Dr. M, can you?
Yeah, we every time a registration gets a new student enrolled, they know what our caps are. So once we hit those numbers, they say, okay, we've got a new student at 4th grade at Balmoral, we're closed, are we moving the student to Crete? Look at the numbers, yes, then we move over to Crete. So we have pretty hard and fast numbers that we use with the registration, so that way we're not overloading teachers, but we're trying to keep kids in their home schools as best as possible.
So if you don't mind me asking, what is the number, and I know they're probably different, but say 1st through 5th grade, what's your max number in a classroom?
Typically, K2, we're looking at about 25, 3 through 5, we're looking at 28. And those are also in line with the collective bargaining agreement, because there are numbers within that contract that we also that we need to adhere to as well.
Okay, so the only question I guess the other last part of the question is, if the numbers were lower, meaning we would have to open up another classroom somewhere, to keep the numbers instead of 28 down to 24 or 23, would that be a better environment for the student and the teacher? It's just a question, because I don't know.
Class size?
Yeah, would it be? I mean, I know that's a thing, right? I mean, and I know it's hard because it changes throughout the year. But is it a better environment? I mean, moving forward, we've done a lot of stuff on our facilities. We've done everything in restructuring as much as we can, but I think moving in the next direction is trying to focus on that. Wouldn't that be a better environment? Probably yes, right?
Research says. There is research about class size, And we, as a district, need to do some work on making sure our classes are balanced.
Okay, so I guess then that's good in a way, because now that we've got our facilities and other things in order, I think the board, we can focus on trying to address that, which I think will make it better on both sides, right? Better for the student, better for the teacher.
Yeah.
I have two things.
Yes.
One, and not that it's a bad, I was gonna say to beat a dead horse, sorry, but there's gotta be a way to even out the numbers, I believe. CSK is CSK.
Yes.
But there's, and I love the way they're structured, but to 458, and then you got some others who are two, especially if we're not true neighborhood schools.
Right.
Especially having two schools in Crete, like one has few, and I don't know if it's capacity or what, but that has to be bound. But then the other thing that was like baffling to me compared to the other schools is 45.3% chronic absenteeism at Talala. Like that, that's a lot.
So with that being said, I think what ties in this, what I'm gonna say is, low income. What is the definition of low income? Because I don't understand that word in relative to our students. I mean, I guess, how is that in, I mean, you look at Balmoral, 73% of low income. I guess I'm trying to understand, is that, like, the state's 49.7, we're way off. Some of the schools are relatively close to that. Before we move on to the middle school, I just am trying to understand the elementaries first.
Absolutely. So, does low income play impact? When there's a higher percentage of low income students, it means that there are more intensive programs that need to be put in place to support that need and to try and support to close that gap. What you'll see in a moment is that we do good, and we say this every year, students that stay with us grow with us.
So as they get older, the middle school, the high school, it changes.
It does, but again, and I don't have what I'm saying poverty factors or what those low income, what that median income number is.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we know that there's a lot of work that has to be put in, and research says that there are programs and the intensity and the high quality teachers and all the things to support the needs of low income students, yes.
Okay.
You may have just answered my question, but the definition of a low-income student is what?
It goes on the family's income and the number of family members in the family. I don't know what that number is, but
because it's a chart that goes. If you
so
have
when we
three,
say low income, we say 64% of the students fall into a low income category.
Yes.
Defined by the state of Illinois.
Correct.
That was my question.
Well, it's the federal government that defines it, not the state.
So not the state?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not
Right,
sure
right?
where that
Well,
number comes.
So-
Dr. M knows where that.
So if a family receives SNAP or TANF benefits, that qualifies as low income. Homeless, migrant, runaways, or fosters are low income, and then any student or family who meets the federal income guidelines by the USDA that qualifies for free and reduced meals, they would be qualified as
So
low
I know
income.
Mr. Surma was able to get, I think it's lunch, meals here. So does that change our number? But I mean, you look at some of these numbers, 85%, 73%, 65% of Crete Elementary, 65% of Crete Elementary. I mean, I'm trying to understand. I think we're just trying to understand that, right? Where that figure
I need
comes
it
from.
like in a sentence form, only because we know that math, you can make a number say whatever you want it to say. So I guess I was just trying to figure out 85.4% of our families
that go there.
That attend Talala Elementary fall into one of those categories of receiving SNAP on that chart provided by the U.S. Department.
Okay.
Or all of those other things that are
Okay.
listed. The 85% of our families are part of that one of those categories.
And then is there an opportunity that is double dipped if I have more than one student in the family at the same school?
So you mean, do they count that?
Is it
as
counted twice? Yeah.
They count each student. So
Yeah.
if there are 395 students at that school, they count each student.
That's
Not
okay.
household, they're doing.
Not
the student.
household, it's
But
student from
the
the
household is the money that is received, the income that is received, but in that household.
So, and again, not to talk what Dr. Hall was saying, if you look at the chart, and again, I understand this information, we're just asking the questions so we can better.
I am not offended
So we
at all.
can
This is my
definitely
job.
make it better, but Balmoral's class size average, the state says 21, we're at 24. Talala's average class size is 17. So I guess my point is, if 4 of those students came out of Balmoral and went to Talala, you're at 20 and 21. Would the environment, obviously, the environment would be better for both the student and the teacher of addressing 20 to 21 as opposed to 24, 25 kids, right?
According to
Theor-
research,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I just,
Okay, so here's my last question so far.
yeah.
Okay, student mobility means the amount of students that transfer in or out of the school.
Both. It counts, mobility counts for students coming in and out of the district.
After the registration period?
There is a date
Okay.
of when they count, and I don't know that date off the top of my head, but I can definitely put that date in the FYI. But
I was
for it
more
to
interested in when I see a student mobility percentage, what am I learning about? So that's my question. So what's the so what? Like, what is it that
So the so what is, I've moved in a district, I've lost some days out of school. I move out, between registering for one school to the next school, you know, in a wonderful world, a child has not missed any days of school.
So that's
But
tied to
I-
attendance,
But
student mobility?
typically, when they do the study, it shows that if you're in that school for long periods of time, you show the biggest gains.
Okay.
Versus if you're mobile.
Moving around,
you
you're not
typically-
stable.
Right, and then the students who have been in this district, at some point, they showed the numbers that students who've been in this district from pre-K or K all the way through typically grow versus those who transfer in and out or who are more mobile.
So we're not necessarily focused, because there's a million reasons why that can happen
Absolutely.
that are very positive
Absolutely, yes.
or out of our control.
Yes.
And this is not about you aged out.
No,
This
no.
is not about that. So 11.8%. I guess I'm trying to figure out why different schools have it. Is it just coincidence? Like,
Well,
I guess
also-
I'm looking for the learning lesson in that stat. What am I learning from it?
The learning lesson is that we have a decent amount of students that are moving in and out of our district for various reasons and factors, and the state feels like they need to report that information because you need to know, or we need to know, that impacts student learning.
Yeah.
And do we know why?
For sure.
Like, is there a form when you're coming in and out of a school to say, oh, I'm a new resident to the area versus I don't know.
I don't know that we track that information. I'm sure there's some data reports that we can use. You know, we have students or families who move out of the district or state for some reason, but then
Right.
they come back.
Because I mean, could it be military? I could just think of a
it could-
million
it could
things.
be.
And so I'm just trying to figure out, like, do we say, okay, state, Crete, district, we're gonna remove these factors out because they're uncontrollables. Let's look at like some of the real ins and outs of student mobility. I don't know. I wonder, is that required? Is that something we do?
No, so
Okay.
the state, when they capture our data and our IT team loads that data to them, they may have different categories that may be marked in our system, but the state is saying overall,
it
for
don't matter.
whatever
Okay.
reason, doesn't matter. And yes, some of our families are military families, and they can be for positive and negative reasons. but they are considered a mobile student.
And remember, we're talking just about the 5 elementaries right now.
Mhm.
So when
I
we get
took a
to the
peek.
middle school and the high school, the number could change because there's
So many.
And Talala would be higher because a lot of those students are from UP, which they have a lot of apartments. It's not a knock on you, it's just
Yeah,
because the apartment, and you know people who
Leases.
right, leave the
Okay.
apartments. Because if you live in a house, then
Less
you
likely.
typically going to stay longer.
So Janine, we will just comment on this. This is way going off to the side. But earlier this year, we did some aggressive analysis with our own data that's not at the state level.
Sure.
We did our own regressive analysis. And what we found out was the biggest indicator of student success that impacted student success, it wasn't mobility, but it was second, it was low income. And when we factored that out with our students' test scores, we actually were above the state averages.
When that's taken out, when that's
Okay.
not when that's not a barrier.
But
And so when we know that it's a barrier, that is the reason, and I'll get into more of some of the things that we're doing to help close that gap, because we know that it exists.
But I am concerned about the 45.3%. The chronic, yes, for Talala.
Well, what we have found, what's going on recently in the news, is impacting our families. They are not sending their children to school.
But that's from last year.
Yeah,
That's
I was
not
gonna
this
say,
But
year.
there was
is-
things that was going on last year too, as you recall.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all right, I got one more follow-up when you're done.
What time is it?
Are you ready? You ready to go?
Yeah.
Mr. Swallow?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Let's go. All right, again, this is our story. This is not like any other district, right? We are in charge of 4,500 kids, and they come to us and we serve them, and our teachers and staff do a wonderful job with the students that we are giving. What we know is that they grow when they are with us.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Middle school. Middle school continues to be stable. Their low income is at 64%. Mobility is at 8%. We service about 70 EL students there. Enrollment is 985, average class size, and as you can see in the blue, those are their goals, and we'll talk about how they're reaching those goals. Again, students that stay with us, grow with us.
Okay.
Okay. High school, here we are. Oh, go back. We have how many? At the end, when this data was collected, it was in the spring, yes.
So where are we at currently?
If you want to give me like 1 second, I can tell you. Entity. I do
We're
know.
9:53 right now.
And since we're on the middle school, if you look at the class sizes, is that partially due to the IB program and the amount of classes they have to have, right? If the class size is a little bit smaller, but because they have more to offer, right? So there's more options for them at that level.
I would not equate that.
No?
With, no.
Okay.
No.
So the state's at 21, but we're at 20,
Yes.
and it's less this year. 953.
All right.
Okay, so chronic absenteeism, my apologies. Because when I think about the elementary school, I think of a parental control of their student getting to school. But then I also remember hearing, I believe, that we don't have neighborhood schools. So if we max out on a class, you might get sent to a whole nother school that you might not be necessarily close to.
Correct.
We provide transportation in those
do.
situations.
Yes.
But I just can't help but wonder, first of all, how much that impacts absenteeism, the fact that I gotta, even on bus,
Yes.
but just the fact that, oh shoot, you didn't miss the bus. Now I gotta find a way to get you to school because Ubering kids to school sucks.
Yes.
I know. So if you over there, I might be less likely to go.
Yes.
And so my parental control that of a younger kid and putting them in the Uber, I can't help but wonder if I'm less likely to send my kid to school. But now as I'm getting older though, it kind of conflicted everything I was thinking, because I'm like, oh, but now as I'm getting older, middle school is still very parental controlled age group. What are some factors on absenteeism in a middle school?
Well, I think we'd have to run our data and.
Because I thought I had some
look at
answers, but I don't think I
those,
did.
like, factors of why kids are absent.
Because the definition means it's already chronic, correct? Chronic absenteeism, that's what we're talking about.
Chronic means that you have missed 10% of days, which is where we come to, kids are at school 176 days per year. So you've missed 10% of those days. So
18 days.
18 days. And it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if there's an illness, if you missed the bus, if whatever the reasons are that you are not attending
Just the
school,
fact that you're not there.
the fact that you are not present at school. But we can certainly run some data in terms of what is being reported to the schools in terms of absenteeism. And again, Dr. M, I'm not sure if you have Mr. Green has been working as the truancy coordinator. He's been doing a lot of work, and I'll talk about that in a minute, of trying to close that gap. But we may have some data on the very specific reasons why, but we are attacking that with our attendance matters.
Can I just rephrase this real quick? 31.6% of the students enrolled at Crete Middle School have missed more than 10% of school.
Yes.
Is that the sentence?
That is the sentence.
Not 31% of the kids that are absent. We're just talking about the student body.
Yep.
Okay. Got
So if in defense,
Okay.
that's why you started the attendance matters.
Yes.
And why Mr. Green is doing that, because this is last year's number. So I'd be interested next year to see how these change.
Yes.
If they do.
Yes.
And they should.
And I think Dr. M can speak to this. I think that we're starting to see small pockets. And again, part of this is the intervention that goes on. And so those families where there's like one-on-one support and calls and very intensive supports that are going out to those families. And again, because it is a family, sometimes, kids don't get to decide. So it is a family support that is in place to say, hey, what do you need? What do we need? I mean, down to, you need me to call you at 6:50 every day to get you up. Like, whatever needs to happen, those supports are being put in place.
Yeah, to kind of go along with what Dr. Perkins had said, Mr. Green he's done his attendance matter tour. He's visited every school. He's created a lot more and different communication targeted towards students and families. We've rolled out this whole green, yellow, red stoplight thing for student attendance. It makes it very clear on when you're getting to those different levels of chronic absenteeism, chronic truancy. Eric's work focuses a lot around the unexcused absences, which what the county is looking for truancy, for bringing people in front of a judge and say, your kid's not coming to school, now parent, it's on you. He's also done a lot of work with their truancy liaison, who's been in our district and has visited with our families and our students too. So he's been really on top of this throughout this year and creating a lot of different communications and getting different folks involved. Schools are starting to set up their student attendance review teams, so that way it's the group of professionals in the building looking at attendance data and seeing those kids that are starting to fall into some of those absent categories. Then we can deliver some interventions to them to get them to school.
And if you look, the teachers on certain days are wearing attendance matters shirts. Yeah. They're going around to the schools. It's going to make a difference. It's going to get the kids more positive in and in the schools more. And I'm telling you, that number's probably going to go down. It's staggering high, but it should go down next year.
Yep, that's our goal.
And then do we know when intervention starts? Like at what point of the school year?
They started when that student there's a process, there's an attendance team, and again, I can defer this to Dr. Melenchenko, but there's an attendance team that constantly are looking at students. And so are you about to hit that threshold? What are we doing? What meetings are the administrators having with that families? Like, there's a whole system put in place to support those students and those families.
Thank you. That's it for me for middle school.
Okay. All right, here we go. Middle school information. Let's move on to the high school. 1460 students that we serve there, average class size 25, 14% IEPs, 89% daily attendance. We did have a few glitches in our attendance there, and we have worked to try and put a system in place to bring that number up, but there were some glitches and some system faults that we had, so we expect that even to increase there. Again, that 41% absenteeism rate, homeless rate, low income is at 56%, 12% mobility, 74 ELL students that we serve, and then these are the academic goals that that school leadership team has chosen to move the school forward.
So what I noticed, with the ELC, that's 8 schools, 2 of them are ranked. So, in U.S. News.
Yes.
That's good.
Pretty commendable. Again, we're doing great work here. It takes, it's intensive work. We have some comprehensive and complex situations that we work with our families and students to close that gap. But our educators, our teachers, and all staff members, no matter what your role is in the district, are working hard for our kids. Can I click? Okay. And so here you'll see the summary, just again, the summary of what we've already discussed. All right, let's talk about a few more scores, and then I'll answer any other questions. So we do know that the state did change their proficiency and growth rates, and they're going to be making another change next year. And I just say that because I'm going to get up here next year and say the same thing. The state made some changes, but here we are with our growth at the elementary and middle school level. The state wants 50% percentile growth. And then here we are at 45 with ELA and 46 within range. And again, we're putting in some intensive programming and supports to help those students. Science, we've got some work to do there. 5th and 8th graders take the science exam. And then here are ACT results. Again, state wants you to be at the 50% percentile. Before, the state did not put in, has not put in student growth in terms of metrics tied to the assessment. Next year, they will be adding that component with the ACT. Their weight was heavily on the graduation rate, but that will be changing for next year. We had a local goal. MAP is our local assessment. It's we administer it every trimester, and so we look at what that growth is. We had a growth goal for our 8th graders to get a 10% gain from the 19th percentile. Again, using different types of assessments to look at our kids in different ways. And what this data shows is that those students grew to the 38th percentile. And so we met that goal. And that was a math goal, that was in operations and algebraic thinking, and we chose that because that's one of the key indicators on the ACT. Again, some more MAP data showing that our students are having growth at the middle school. Again, kids that are with us, grow with us. Again, we've got some curriculum things in place. We've got instructional coaches helping. We prioritized our standards, the beauty of being in a pre-K district. We've got some success indicators. We put in some, we know that community service is part of our high school graduation requirement. We are on track to exceed the number of hours that we clocked for last year, which was 3,600. Right now, we're at 2,600, and we've got a system in place to help that number grow. And so we will continue to watch that. Our school cultures, they take the 5 essential surveys, and part of their school improvement plan are ways to work with their teams to develop their 5 essential. Last year, and part of engagement is that our students were offered $1.8 million in scholarships.
Real quick.
Yes.
Because it says money raised, scholarship money raised, which
Yes.
can be deceiving.
Okay.
Because the school didn't raise that money.
Yes.
The students earned that money through.
They're yes.
Right.
Offered.
I see the offer, but I'm saying.
So there
it's
was
a-
yes. It's
Yeah, it should be changed.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. So we will go in and change that to offer.
I don't know who else you're showing this to, but.
It's going to go on the website, so the entire public will see it. So we will get that changed before it is put up. Other indicators of success of empowering is that we are part of a process called the professional learning communities, where we learn together. We think about big ideas and 4 critical questions that we ask. All of our administrators have been trained. 80 staff members had off-site training. Our graduation rate continues to be above the state. Our teachers received 41 sessions last year in professional development. The question is often asked, like, why do you guys have a lot of school improvement days? There's a lot of work to be done. We have to build the capacity of our staff to support our students. School improvement day this week is Friday. Friday, we will surpass with our 41 session, and we're only in November now, and then they have received 4,500 hours worth of credits to our staff. Our partners with our universities continue to grow as we empower our students and staff and offer cohorts that we work with Prairie State, that we're with NIU and Capella, and we had cohorts of teachers go through to, again, support our students and their needs. We had ESL cohorts, driver ed cohorts, special ed cohorts, and now we have the BCBA cohort that will work with supporting teachers in developing strategies for students who are struggling with their emotional and mental support.
Did you all do anything with the SIUE program that came through?
Dr. M, do you, I don't remember.
Southern Illinois, Edwardsville, that came to each school to talk to the.
I think it was, we've shared information with them, with
But
the
not-
schools, but yeah, that's.
Because I know she
Is that
came and
cohort?
met with staff members. I don't know if she if any cohorts were developed.
That's it at this time. We're trying to get a cohort, a combined cohort with us and Orland 35 with North Central College. They were sent our way, so we're trying to do that. And we also have our partnership with Golden Apple, their accelerators program. So anybody that's a substitute teacher or paraprofessional that has a bachelor's degree, they can apply for that to basically get their pathway to licensure paid by Golden Apple.
Okay.
What about the KACC program?
I
Is
will
that considered a
definitely-
partnership?
Yes, I will definitely put that on there. But that was universities, and so that I'm not sure if they considered how we
Yeah,
mark them
I don't know.
as the attendance center.
It just seems like something nice to add
Yeah.
to that section.
And so our final part of indicators of success, and we will report as we're gathering more data for our indicators of success. There are a lot more metrics to be added. We'll add that more numbers in the spring to share with you. But we have our career pathways for our seniors, which is to get each of them enrolled, enlisted, employed, or certified. And this number was shared at the graduation last year. that 70% of our students in the spring were enrolled in college, 3% in the military, 17% had employment, and then 10% went on to trade schools. This comprehensive list is the list of professional development that has been offered to teachers this year, and then this will continue to grow, and we'll share with you what those learning experiences look like for our teachers. So, going forward, what does that look like? So you know that we are all on top of our elementary buildings getting the smart labs. We know that when students identify as part of a STEM identity, that helps keep them engaged. So 3 out of our 5 elementaries currently have smart labs. We have one being built in Crete Elementary this spring, and then we are seeking funding for the STEM lab at CSK to go up. We will have a STEM and District Career Identity Day in the spring. We are reimagining our system about our early college credit. Again, we want to give our students opportunity to earn those dual credits and enroll in college, because that will help our families far more and support them so that they don't have large college bills and those kids walk away with credits before they even enter. We are developing new pathways to our CTE and trying to look at students' interests. We have a survey going out this week to ask them what it is that they are interested in. We know their number one request every year has been culinary, so we will see and share those results with you of what they are asking for. We are strengthening those professional learning communities and making stronger instructional alignment from, again, pre-K all the way up to 12. We are increasing our student participation in summer school, the arts, leadership programs, and after-school programs, and we're steadily looking for universities to partner with us. So, our story, right? So you heard it. But nothing sounds better than out of the mouths of babes. So I'm going to read a few testimonies for you from our students. To me, then here's the question that I posed to them. What does it mean to be part of the Crete Monee learning community? And here's what they had to say. To me, being a warrior means to be part of a great community that strives to settle for the best, not for less. Being part of the community is a great thing where we can meet, greet people, and learn new things. Thank you, Quentin, for that. To me, the CM201U learning community feels like a family. I see it as a way to bring one another together and not leave others behind or allow others to get lost. Thank you, Kenyon. To me, it means a lot to me to be part of the CM201U learning community. I'm very involved and recognized for what I do by peers, teachers, and staff. I left the high school for a couple of months, which felt weird. CMHS is like a family to me. I love being here, and I love being a king. Homecoming every year. Thank you, Jaden, for sharing that. And then here's what Terrell has to say. It's an honor. I love to learn from people who are so invested in others' lives that they take the time to educate. Our district staff make sure not only to educate us, but also to support our mental health. And so that comes from the students who are with us and stay with us. And that concludes our annual for the year. And then we always give you a glossary because we've got lots of acronyms running around all the time. And the last thing that we added for this year is to allow families, once we post it, if they want to share any questions, insight, or request any additional information, we have that QR code that will take them to a form to sign. Questions?
Hi. I remember last year when we were kind of setting up some goals for our district.
Yes.
One of the things we had tossed around was the 9th grade on track. Remember, if you remember that discussion?
Yeah.
What slide talks about that? Because for some reason, I do see it's kind of on here, but I don't remember.
It's right here.
But why were we talking about that as a goal last year? Because I don't really know if you remember, ninth grade on track.
That was for the superintendents.
But what
as
is it
an
though that we were
option.
learning that we wanted to see increase there?
Because we would,
For graduation rates, maybe we should escalate the graduation rates. But our graduation rates are actually pretty okay.
But I do remember something about ninth grade that caused a spark.
So it was the question about math, which is the reason why we targeted it, that math subgroup in the MAP testing to look at operations and algebraic questions. That's where that all spun from. Like, are we putting in goals that relate to specific areas that they need for high school, like passing the ACT, getting a good score on the ACT, and so that was one of the targeted areas that we chose.
Now, is ninth grade on track a state thing?
It is a state thing, yeah.
Okay.
So it is
So where are
reported
we
on the
outside
state.
of math though? Like, where are we how many students do not graduate that started in ninth grade? Like, what are the other ninth grade on track things, categories and things that are important to us to follow for a ninth grade student outside of just their math score?
So if you fail so many classes, like, is it 2?
So no
then
more
they'll
than
say,
one semester
right.
F in a core course of English, math, science, or social studies. So our ninth graders that are on track, it means that they've earned at least 10 semester credit hours in those areas.
Ninth grade students who have earned at least 10 credit hours
Are on
in
track.
those.
Yes, are on track to
Is
graduate.
it possible I have 10 credit hours in other stuff in ninth grade?
Ninth grade, your freshman year,
Yeah,
you
like-
have, no.
But when they focus on track, you may have the 10 credit, but they focus on, if you have to pass the core classes, because those are classes you have to make up. Like if I fail culinary arts, I don't necessarily have to go back and take, but if I fail English,
Because the culinary arts is not going to determine my graduation.
Right, it's more of an
se.
elective,
Yeah.
right. But the core course, you have to go back and take ninth grade English in order to graduate.
So 93% of freshman students that started high school at CMHS.
Yes.
And I don't mean to diminish this, but only 93%. How come it's not higher?
So
The state's 89.3.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And they had
That sounds horrible to me. I'm saying
when they started tracking this, which was not too long ago, when they really started tracking, it was at the point where 50% of kids they focused on CPS were not graduating high school. It was a focus of African American boys, and then they really started to focus on like why, what is the issue, how do you do this?
Especially if you think you're going to class every day. I thought I was a junior, not me, Janine, personally, but then to find out, oh, I'm not graduating next year. That would be a blow.
Yeah, it shouldn't happen like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And again, I won't kid that we want that to be 100%, right? But
like,
again,
when do we find out? After the first semester?
No, we're running data all the time. Our guidance counselors at the high school are working with those kids all of the time to say, look, and working with those families, this kid missed it. What are we going to do? How are we going to close that gap? I will tell you, even Mr. Hollyfield and I met with seniors last year that were not on track to graduate, and we were like, what can we do to help you to pass this class? And having some one-on-one conversations about what is going on and how are we going to get you over that threshold. So again, I won't kid you that we want to be at 100%, and that there are things that are systems put in place to help decrease that.
And I do definitely jog my memory because I was wondering, after ninth grade, what does 10th grade look like and 11th grade? Like, what do those conversations look like? And I understand why we do a ninth grade milestone check.
Yes.
But I couldn't help but also wonder who's talking to the 10th graders and 11th graders. And
It should be the same people, but I remember proposing and then that we do a half cap. Half cap
I do remember that. Yeah.
10th grade, then at a certain point, you do a celebration to kind of keep encouraging them and then encourage those who are behind to be able to take part. But it was a big issue, and people were saying, why are we celebrating them? Because
Everybody get a trophy.
Right. And it's not everybody get a trophy. It was really, it's just like no different than why do we celebrate them for getting perfect attendance?
Yeah.
Shouldn't they be here every day for all 4 years? Then we celebrate them at the end. But no, so it was just one of those things to motivate. But the community, 3 people in the community sent emails, and so we scrapped it.
Okay.
So, are you good?
That concludes my questioning.
So I have 2.
Yes.
And so if we go back and look at the elementaries, we're gonna need you. I'm gonna need. What can the board do? We have Balmoral, Crete, Targeted, and Talala Comprehensive. So everything else is almost done. What? And again, I don't want to speak for the board.
Yes.
But what can the board do to support these 3 schools on being commendable? Like, what do you need from us to make that happen? That's question number 1. And then the last one I have is, what can the board do to help with the classroom sizes in the elementary level? That's, for me, where the focus needs to be at this point. Because looking at this, targeted and comprehensive as a board member is unacceptable, right? I mean, but what can we do to help support that be better? And then same thing with the classroom sizes in the elementary level. Junior high and high school look fine, and I'm not a teacher, I don't know that.
Yes.
But 20 is our average class size in middle school, 25 in the high school. But in some of these elementaries, in me personally, I'm not in education, but I think it needs to be, those numbers need to be different. So what can we do? What do you need from us?
So I would say that each building probably has its own set of needs, right? Because they are all each unique. I would say that it's going to boil down to funding, right? Because if we say we need more teachers or specialized teachers or smaller class sizes, all of that will equate to some type of funding source to make that happen.
Okay.
And so those would be, some of the inequities that exist. For instance, I would say like a Balmoral might only have 1 social worker with 500 kids, or compared to.
So that's the information we need. And then along with changing the class sizes into some of the other schools may alleviate a little bit, but the social work, those types of needs are what we need, right? We need to know that so we know how to fix it.
Well, thank you for saying that, because I actually happen to have the CMEA president, Mrs. Quinlan, here, and we have a new project that we will be working on in terms of taking a look at our data, and it'll take a hard look at our data, and again, from Dr. Coglanese and decisions that need to be made, but we can pull together some research and some data and some opinions for you.
All right.
Okay.
And you said that this presentation gets posted?
Yes, on the website.
Okay. Like this? And then a parent would click on it?
Yes.
And oh, okay.
It'll be in its entirety, its full entirety. After I make that change that Dr. Hall told me about.
And can I just make a suggestion?
Yes, please.
Sometimes Janine speaking for myself.
Yes.
Like I
Because
see a lot of.
Only Mr. Brown can speak for the board.
That is correct. But when I see like a page full of numbers.
Yes.
And it could just be my learning style. I don't know. But sometimes when it's just a bunch of, I don't know, like what are the yellow cautionary numbers we should be looking at versus the red numbers that should cause alarm versus stuff that should just be concerns.
Okay.
And I didn't know if that was possible.
We can certainly.
Do you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, we can certainly add an additional kind of narrative or sentence there that kind of, for presentation, that's a lot to sit up here, but to post it to the public that doesn't have the same knowledge and seat that you
context
have,
and things like that.
Yes, we can certainly add to that.
Are you asking that of her or Everybody who
whoever,
presents.
whoever
Okay.
was just noticing that someone may not be able to look at these numbers and understand the context behind it and know. So is 20.3% good? I don't know. And I don't know that just by having it uploaded, I know anybody, including myself, if I go look next week, if I would be able to click on it and be like, oh, that's why the board would spend so much time on that number. Because it's a concern versus okay. And that concludes my questioning for the night.
Mr. Sawalich, did you say you had another point? Okay. A and B? All right, so I think that was. Are you trying to tell me something, Dr. Hall? Yeah, I am at the end. All right, thank you, guys.
Real quick, Dr.
I'm
Perkins,
sorry.
and I think
Mr. Brown.
a lot of very good conversations tonight regarding the presentation, but a lot of conversations been on class sizes. And I believe, I can't quote the board policy regarding class sizes exceeding a certain number. I believe it's 25, 26. So if we feel strongly that a class size is indicative of learning, being good or bad, that we actually kind of go a parallel path and revisit that policy too and lower that number. It doesn't say, to my knowledge, I can't recall exactly, it doesn't say that we would do, the administrators will do X, Y, and Z once that number is exceeded, but it says that we would look at it if it's brought to the board or the admin attention, yeah. So, but I believe, and that's why I guess a flag has not went up, because that number has not been exceeded from the data that you have shown. I believe it's 26. I could be wrong on that.
I think it varies at different grade levels.
Okay,
25 for K,
Okay.
and then primary might be. I
But
don't
it gives
know.
us an opportunity.
It goes up to 32.
In the contract, K through 2 is 25.
Okay.
And then pre-K is different because they don't run the full day and their class sizes are limited by their grants and other things. And then 3 to 5th is 28, and then I believe the rest of the levels are the same number at about
32 or
Okay.
something like that.
And when we do averages of class sizes, it doesn't equate the actual class, the class size can be different than the average too. So
Okay.
it averages out by building and how many certified teachers that you have in a building, but that doesn't necessarily mean, like, if the ELL teachers are certified, but they don't have their own classroom at Balmoral or Monee and things like that. So it depends, yeah.
Okay. Well,
to
definitely
look
gives us
at.
an opportunity to look at the whole package.
Yeah, so we can pull that data together.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Great presentation, great
you.
questions and interaction regarding, again, your presentation. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All righty, you're welcome. Next up on our agenda is number 7, consent agenda. Is there anyone who would like to take anything out and vote on it separately regarding the consent agenda?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
If not, I'll put a motion first. It didn't have a read. Could I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as is?
Moved.
Moved by Bill.
Second.
Second by Alex. Make sure, if you don't mind, make sure he's noted for something. Thanks, Alex. Right. You're a warrior, man. You're a true warrior. Okay. Any discussions or comments? If not, we're gonna have our superintendent read it out. I know.
Under Superintendent, item 1, approve regular meeting minutes, October 21st, 2025. Item 2, approve regular meeting closed session minutes of October 21st, 2025. Item 3, approve committee of the whole meeting minutes of October 14, 2025. Item 4, approve committee of the whole meeting closed session minutes of October 14, 2025. Under business, item 1, approve Board of Education financial report. Item 2, approve a payment of $1,730,394.35 to Burns and Jones for work done at the high school. Item 3, approve a payment of $69,403.62 to Bear Construction for work done at the middle school. Item 4, approve a payment of $108,071 to Bear Construction, work at the middle school. Item 4, approve a payment of $61,453.33 to Bear Construction for, again, work at the middle school. Item 6, approve a payment of $31,257.48 to Bear Construction, work at the high school. Item 7, approve payment of $105,494.75 to Bear Construction, work at the middle school. Item C would be personnel report. Item 1 would be approve the personnel report consisting of approving certified staff resignation and educational support staff employment, reassignment, resignation, and unpaid leave of absence. And that concludes the report.
Thank you, Dr. Coglanies. No further questions or comments on the consent agenda. Roll call, please, Madam Secretary.
Ms. Woolfolk?
Aye.
Ms. Venegas? Aye. Mr. Sawalish?
Aye.
Dr. Hall?
Aye.
Zeit Stumbris is an aye. Mr. Gallegos?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye. Motion carried. Moving on to number 8, action report under business alpha. Number 1, can I have a motion to approve alpha number 1, establish December 9th, 2025 as the date for the Truth and Taxation public hearing on the 2025 tax levy. Motion?
Moved.
Moved by Bill.
Second.
Second by Dr. Hall. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Roll call, please, Madam Secretary.
Mr. Sawalish?
Aye.
Dr. Hall?
Aye.
Ms. Venegas? Aye. Ms. Woolfolk?
Aye.
Zeit Stumbris is an aye. Mr. Gallegos?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye. Motion carried. Still under number 8, action report. Number alpha business. Number 2, can I have a motion to approve the application for the school maintenance project grant?
Moved.
Moved by Jamie.
Second.
Second by Dr. Hall. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call please, Madam Secretary.
Dr. Hall?
Aye.
Ms. Venegas? Aye. Ms. Woolfolk?
Aye.
Mr. Sawalish?
Aye.
Zeit Stumbris is an aye. Mr. Gallegos?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye. Motion carried. Moving on to number 9, old business.
I've got something for old business. Mr. Okrzynski has an update for you on the MEC bid process that was opened. So, Mr. Okrzynski, you can share that, please?
Yes, on Monday, November 17th, we had the bid opening for the sale of MEC. We are in receipt of an offer that met the minimum requirements established by the board for the sale of MEC in the amount of $553,500, my apologies. And we are also in receipt of the cashier's check in the amount of $10,000. I've forwarded that information to Mr. Gleason, and we will communicate the next steps as I hear from him. So at this time, it looks like we have a buyer for the property.
Excellent.
Wow, we don't have to cut the grass no more. Good job. All right, any other old business?
I just have one. Mr. Okrzynski, do you have an update on the middle school rooftop replacement HVAC? Did they get back to you on anything yet?
I haven't got numbers yet. They're getting close. They did have some mechanical engineers come out on Monday and visit the middle school, but I haven't had those numbers yet. I'll be sure to share those with you and also include them in an updated short-term facility plan when I have.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, any other old business? New business, and it could be more new business, but there's one here. Number 10, Alpha, discussion of early learning. Go ahead, Alex, I'll let you go. You have the floor for new business.
Sorry.
No
For
worries.
new business, I mean, this, I guess, should have been in the board updates, but the drama club is putting on a show this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 6:30 or 7 o'clock, something like that. I know we have a busy schedule this weekend with Triple I and everything, but if some of us could support our drama club and go see a show, that'd be great.
Is that this weekend?
Yeah, they have a musical Saturday, Friday,
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday?
I think it's Thursday
Yeah.
too. Then maybe you could be right. It could be off the day.
Okay, thank you, Alex, for letting us know. No promises from me, but I'll try to attend one of those events, given the days, Thursday, Friday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I have to short cycle my church service on Sunday. Maybe I can go. Let's see. All right, thank you, Alex. Anything else? All right, for me, the discussion of early learning center policy, I just feel it's prudent that the board look at having a policy to support our early learning center. Right now, that program is being funded by grants, and you can see how important that program is and how successful it is. And I was looking at more sustaining that program over time when new administrators come or new boards come and you know, they're looking for support. I think a policy will guarantee some oversight and support of the program. So I was just looking, I think everyone should have had in their inbox kind of an overview, and I am working on a draft policy. I'll get with Jamie on that and get it to the board, get their input, since you are a policy person. Okay, did you know that? As secretary. As secretary, I'll get with Jamie. So I just got in a big rough draft, and I just see the hard work. You saw how our director presented today and the community engagement, so on and so forth, that and I was told years ago when I first got on the board, if you want something to really continue or you want something to really happen, put it in your board policy. So I would love this program to continue, and I would love to support it. I would love some continue
Just to clarify, may I
engagement.
ask a question? I love the ELC. My kid went there. This is not, is the ELC 100% grant funded?
I don't know all of that.
Okay.
That's what,
It
that's
is-
kind of
okay.
one of the things that I'm looking for our superintendent to share with the board on a
Would-
yearly basis.
There's
You
a
know,
large portion that is
I think it's a large
grant
portion.
funded, but it's not, I wouldn't think
Right.
it's completely.
Would this, are you asking for the policy to guarantee it remains without funding?
No, not at all.
Okay.
We can't do that. That's one
That's
of the
what I
things-
thought
and
you were
think-
asking, and I'm
no,
like, how do we
I
do
think I kind of
that?
put a little caveat in there saying that.
Okay.
No. However, whatever we can do, but it does be implemented in our, somehow in our strategic plan. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look at our strategic plan. Somehow, because I think all of us can agree that the ELC program adds value to the process, to the academic success of our kids. Can we agree on that? Okay, and I can bring some data. I think I met someone down at Peoria that said they're gonna present some data on the success of early learning at another event in Oak Brook on December 8th and 9th. I'm trying to make one of those dates.
I guess I'm just asking, I guess I'm confused as to what you want a policy to
Depends
say
on
or
how he
do.
writes it.
Yeah, how I write.
And that's
And-
why I'm
and-
kind of interested
Yeah,
in.
I think I got a rough draft. You kind of
Okay.
look at it.
Because
And
I'm
it's-
in the same boat with you as I'm trying to figure out what
Yeah.
the goal is,
Mhm.
but it depends on how he writes it. Will
Yeah.
And I love, this is not a question at all
Yeah.
of
Right.
ELC.
And
Like,
I didn't,
I
bring, I
love
didn't,
it.
I didn't
I
expect to
just,
share a draft that I
But it has to
working
have-
on in blue, highlighting and striking out
oh,
things
sure, no,
here.
I'm sure we'll see it. I guess I'm
Okay.
just, and I look forward to seeing it
Sure.
once it's more finalized.
Yeah. And I think, again, I can get this out over the next couple of days, a draft. I'll give it our superintendent, just get her thoughts, and Dr. Perkins. But this has kind of been with me for the last several months, thinking about it. So I said, let me start putting something on paper, let me get it out there, and looking to implement a board policy probably starting next fiscal year. Okay. And like the board is monitoring this program, present to us like Kelly did tonight at the end of the year, whatever. As it'll be a standard of somehow. Right now it's kind of whatever, okay. But now the board has expectations from our superintendent. How's the ELC doing? What's going on? Do they have ample teachers?
So,
there? Or what,
I
things
think what
like
you're
that.
saying is right now it's running according to Ms. Chesta's, the way she runs it.
Yeah.
But when the day she moves on,
Somebody
it
else,
needs
it
to
could be
ma-
something different.
you want to maintain that level.
I want to maintain the level.
I think that's what you're saying, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I want to maintain some consistency to sustain this program.
Because right now
in
it's
a
it's
manner.
running at a high level.
It's-
I mean,
yes,
I can
yes.
tell you, you
New
look at it, it's,
superintendent come, would they provide the same support? New board come or
Hey,
whatever?
ask Mr. Gallegos, his daughter was in it, and I'm telling you, they had stuff all the time.
We're not going to tell them how to run the program, but you need support from the board. What can we do for you? Present to the board, tell the board what you've been doing, such as tonight, on a periodic basis. If our superintendent could come up with some funds, additional funds, external funds to support the program. Superintendent may come back to us and say, you know what, yeah, we hurting over there. Okay? And if we can do something, we could. But if we can't, again, it's no guarantee because of how it's funded right now. But I didn't know exactly how, I know it was grant-driven. I just don't know what percentage it is. I would love to know that. And I think those will be things that the administrative team will let us know, the board, say, hey, we 75% grant funded, we 25 this year. We 85 this, so.
Mr. Okuzinski is dying to share some.
I figured this may come up. I just did some quick numbers based on FY '25. Around 19% of the expenditures from the education fund for the ELC were grant funded. By 19%.
Only 19% is grant
But
funded?
that didn't include anything operation. That was just the 10 fund I ran. So obviously, if you include that, you include transportation, then it would be less funded by grants. That was a combination of state and federal, but I can try and dig into that a little bit more and get you some information, get more information for the FY.
So that means the sustainability part is more achievable because that number's way lower than,
Yeah,
if it was an
than I
80% grant funded program,
Yeah.
then the board is somewhat at risk of writing that policy, but the fact that it's at 19%,
Yeah.
the sustainability of that program is,
But you
should
still-
be
and you still
pretty-
can write it, even if it was grant funded at a high level or whatever. You still can write it to cover yourself that you are not putting out a mandate out there.
no, but you're just protecting them,
That's
making
all.
sure that it functions like everything else in the district.
I think you'll like it. I think you'll like the policy as, once we get it out and you guys provide your input. It's not holding our superintendent hand, with handcuffs. It's not holding any administrator or the district with handcuffs on it. It's just a good oversight and letting our ELC curriculum know that we are here to support them. Okay? So can I move forward to create a draft policy? Okay, you don't have to approve it, but at least get the draft and you look at it. You guys okay with it? Okay, appreciate it. All right, thank you so much, board, and happy, this is the board week, right? I know. Happy, was it last week?
Did Dr. Cognizant say we have an hour in closed session with Dr. Melanchenko?
No closed session, no classes. Okay, we have no reason going in closed session. With that being said, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Hall, moved by Dr. Hall, second by Bill. All in favor say aye.
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 Any nays? Any nays? Did I hear you say nay, Alex?
No, he said aye.
Oh. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, public, for joining us tonight. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your effort. Be safe.
You didn't mind me jumping in, did you?
No, oh, no, no. Oh, absolutely.